I'm not sure the man had took his oath seriously to preserve, protect. In the past there were Republicans that I never questioned that their sincerity.
Well, Donald Trump has launched an attack on Tom Hanks, slamming the Hollywood star for being, quote, woke and destructive.
For more, we are joined by former White House advisor and Tom Hanks fan, Tony Shaffer in.
Our president is very busy prosecuting his enemies. His goon squad today indicted his own former national security advisor, John Bolton. He is just brazenly lying about the economy and grocery prices, but he did have a chat with Vlad Putin today, which we know because while he was on the phone with Putin, he posted, "I am speaking to President Putin now."
And the people who were whacked out, when you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country.
Mr. President, besides San Francisco...
By the way, I'm not a king. I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
Jimmy Kimmel targeted on live television. Tom Hanks gained momentum, and Donald Trump lost control. The precise words are emerging. Indeed, the side-by-side receipts are in our possession. If you support Kimmel, hit the like button. Join the channel by subscribing. Folks, we're all in the same boat. So, here's how it all unfolded. Cool as a cucumber, Kimmel exits the stage and begins stacking the best songs of the week. Pivots, boasts, and a patriotic-themed merchandise drop. He shrugs instead of venting. Next, he explains, this is the part you can't unhear.
Every once in a while, when he needs a good laugh, Putin schedules a phone call with Trump, and Putin is Bart Simpson and Trump is his Mo. Trump announced that he is going to meet with Putin in Budapest at a date to be determined because only he can end a war.
I don't think any president's ever ended a war, frankly. One war, I did 8 of them, Maria, right? And but I don't know, did Bush ever end? Do you think Biden ended a war? Biden started wars because he was stupid. But do you think Biden ended any wars? No. I don't know of anybody that ended wars. I ended 8 of them.
No president, nobody has ever ended a war other than him. All the other wars ended mysteriously by themselves.
So much dishonesty, so much hypocrisy, so much greed. The room chuckles because it's humorous, and then again because it's accurate. Before he plays the video of Trump fixating on a magazine cover, as if it were the State of the Union, everything appeared to be normal, just another late-night monologue. All of a sudden, the joke turns out to be a mirror. Meet daylight, vanity. This is the point at which we level up. The soothing voice of the country, Tom Hanks, takes over.
Oh, well, thank you. Hey, now speaking of church, can I say something? If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
No,
oh, no. Oh, no, it's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You're welcome in Black Jeopardy anytime.
All right. Well, thank you, my brother. Maybe I'll start a show for you to come on, and we'll call it What Jeopardy?
No. We don't need it. We don't need it.
According to the Daily Beast, Donald Trump's inner circle is becoming increasingly fearful of the impact what he sees on Fox News is having on his decision-making. Trump officials became concerned when Trump asked if he could get a reverse mortgage on the White House in one of those Terry Bradshaw walk-in tubs. A few weeks ago, there were reports that the reason Trump wanted to send the National Guard into Portland is because he saw Fox footage of unrest from 2020, and he thought it was happening in real time. And he still might think that's happening in real time. Because in an interview with NBC, he said that when the governor of Oregon informed them there was no security threat in her state, he said, well, wait a minute, am I watching things on television that are different from what's happening?
Hanks provides the moral clarity, while Jimmy Kimmel continues to show us the receipts night after week. Facts are still important. Character is still important. And free speech is not a toy you pull out when the jokes get too funny. Before a dispute over Kimmel's show devolved into a live stress test to see if jokes could withstand political scrutiny. Everything appeared to be typical Hollywood fare. Kimmel returned more shrewd, and Hanks and a wall of painters had a straightforward message. The lights remain on. Let's go back in time and tell the tale the way your mind remembers it.
It's the show the FCC doesn't want you to see. We're doing something fun tonight. We're doing something unprecedented tonight. Now, although I think it's unprecedented, I did not bother to check. Tonight, Stephen is a guest on our show. I will simultaneously be a guest on his show. We thought it might be a fun way to drive the president nuts.
Finally, do you worry about the United States in case in terms of its commitment to democracy and freedom and everything these people died for, if there's another Trump presidency?
I think there's always reason to be worried about the short term, but I look at the longer term of what happened. I think there is a ongoing look. Our Constitution says we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union.
With the cash register ringing in the background, Kimmel boastfully posts about winning a pivot to grievance to start the week. The drag queen tale time is then abruptly triggered. A campfire story style reading of Eric Trump's memoir. The pages plead for pity. Not even the wood chipper. Confetti. It's absurd. It's barbaric. It also raises an important topic. Someone will test the paper stock if mythology is marketed as nonfiction for a long enough period of time.
Tomorrow, Trump gets a visit from Zelensky at the White House. They're going to see if they can figure out this thing with Bad Bunny, and then after that, we'll work on Ukraine. And most importantly, he still has his eye on the ballroom. Trump really wants a ballroom in the White House. Said the reason we don't have one already is because we've never had a real estate person as president, but now we have Blob Vila running the show, and we're going to have one. Last night, Trump hosted a fundraising dinner for his big, beautiful $200 million wedding venue. The fact that the government is shut down because Republicans don't want to spend money on health care makes no difference to him, I guess. All the top people from Google, Apple, Amazon, you name it, lined up to eat beef stroganoff and kiss his ass, just as our founding fathers intended, to build a ballroom.
Please hit like and subscribe if you enjoy Jimmy Kimmel or just appreciate funny receipts. Together, we are rowing through the spin in the same boat. Let's get back to it. Just kidding, everything seemed stable, right? Until the customary we're not censoring, but voices started humming, occurred after the show was abruptly cut off for a brief moment. That was the twist in the plot. The goal of the suspension was to frighten everyone. Rather, it made the knives sharper. Kimmel's voice shifted from fiery to sterile.
He told those in attendance, after I won the first night, I went up and I'm standing in the residential hallway with Melania, and we're looking into the Lincoln bedroom. Do you believe this? We're in the White House, and that's the Lincoln bedroom. And then she went into the Lincoln bedroom, padlocked the door, and Melania hasn't been heard from since. Meanwhile, while he's asking for money, Trump himself is cashing in bigly. Trump and his family have reportedly made more than $1 billion in crypto alone over the past year. And I guess $1 billion isn't enough because he's also hawking watches. If you watch Fox News or Newsmax for more than like an hour, you will see Donald Trump, our president, doing this.
Hello, everyone. It's President Donald J. Trump, and it's Trump time. Check out this red beauty. It's one of my new watches. Wear it proudly on your wrist.
Yeah. Don't wear it around your neck. I don't want to get sued.
There is more playback and fewer drum rolls. He would angle his head and pause on a frame, making the caption almost visible. Is this what we're doing? Hanks, meanwhile, behaved like an adult during a storm. He didn't yell. He didn't hold a pose. He just stood and spoke freely. Let's call a Hollywood. We refer to it as a spine. This beat continues to reveal the act. A post on Monday about how unfair everyone is and how strong the brand is still. A new product line is posing as a movement on Tuesday.
It is frightening to know that the President of the United States is being briefed on world events by the same source as everyone at the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport Chili's to go. One thing you could say about Donald Trump, though, he has a vivid imagination. He has created a dangerous organization to get the old people excited and fired up, a supervillain called Antifa. And the reason we know Antifa is organized against the government is because their matching signs indicate they are somehow in league with Kinkos.
You're seeing people out there with thousands of signs that all match, pre-bought, pre-put together. They're organized and someone is funding it. We're going to get to the funding of Antifa. We're going to get to the root of Antifa, and we are going to find and charge all of those people who are causing this chaos in Portland and all these other cities across our country.
Yeah, and if we can't find them, we're going to pretend we did.
On Wednesday, a devoted son would do ring light alpha monologues that consistently concluded, "We're the real victims." Someone in a position of authority hinted Thursday that the comedians ought to take a lesson. On Friday night, Kimmel hits the play button. On Saturday, Hank's name appears on a letter that stated, "Not today." For-team spectacle, everything was going smoothly until a cool edit and a soothing voice returned the receipts to their proper place. Additionally, if everything seems overly organized, that's because Kimmel makes it that way.
In front of a flag selling top hats, okay? And at least he wore top hats. Trump doesn't even wear a watch. I mean, seriously, it's only a matter of time before we're swearing in President Jake from State Farm. These watches, by the way, are not too good according to some of the reviews. Like this one, my daughter's ordered a Trump watch and after 5 months of waiting have not received anything. It's a shame this company is not holding to President Trump's high standard. I have bad news for you, honey. They are holding exactly to Trump's high standards. There are a lot of reviews like that one.
The roast isn't overcooked by him. To allow you to hear the wheeze, he lets the clips breathe. That Trump who can't pass a mirrored surface without giving a TED presentation about it is the same Trump that appears in his monologues. He keeps conflating fury for air and attention for approbation. That math is flipped at night, especially when Kimmel is involved. The more he tries to get attention, the less he looks beyond a one-sentence joke. Bring Hanks back into the picture now. The father of America is not present to dunk. He is there for stability.
Spread it around. There's no chaos in Portland. None. There is no chaos in Chicago. There was no chaos in Los Angeles. They're pretending there's chaos as a pretense for a military takeover. But I'm open-minded. If there is chaos in these cities Trump calls hellholes, let's see it and decide if something needs to be done about it. So when we put out the word, we ask those of you living in them to show us your hellholes. And before I share this, I want to warn you, this is not for the faint of heart.
Hey, Jimmy, this is Kapil reporting from the hellhole that is Chicago. You can see behind me there's about 40,000 people that are being forced to run for their lives. They're going to run 26 miles. There's people all around them, jeering them, making fun of them. Some are even offering them bananas.
We're in downtown Chicago. There's radical musicians playing on the street.
It's getting scary out here. The bushes themselves are turning on ICE agents. The houses are turning gay. Send help.
We're really, really frightened. We're just trying to survive. And I want to say the restaurant where my husband and I are eating is out of the crab rangoon.
I'm here in Chicago where the carnage continues. The latest, our beloved $4 car wash has turned into a $5 car wash. As our community grows a bit more unrecognizable by the day, Antifa wins.
He said to a live audience years ago, "We're going to be all right." And although it wasn't a lullaby, the line stuck. It was a challenge. Be the nation that deserves to prosper. When it counts, put on the mask. When the Constitution is put to the test, have faith in it. When you apply that to the present, you get the combination that makes the palace tremble. The turmoil is deglamorized by Kimmel. Hanks doesn't care about it. Until someone calmly called the trick and another calmly named the principles. Everything seemed to be in a never-ending panic.
Trump is threatening to make irreversible cuts if there's a shutdown, which, you know what, I was recently the victim of a government shutdown. They are reversible, I will tell you that. Especially thrilled to be called to a mandatory meeting with our Secretary of War / weekend host of Fox and Friends, Pete Hegseth, today. All the top military leaders were pulled off the front lines in Portland and Washington, D.C., and summoned to Quantico for a pep talk with Pete.
Should our enemies choose foolishly to challenge us, they will be crushed by the violence, precision, and ferocity of the War Department. In other words, to our enemies, F-A-F-O.
He's so awesome, you know? It's F-A-F-O Schwarzkopf. That was some speech. Usually when a big group of people gather in a room for Pete Hegseth, it's an intervention. But this was a no-mercy type of affair. Hegseth said, we're getting rid of DEI in the military. We're getting rid of dudes in dresses. He said there will be no more beardos, which is what weird people call men with beards. And just as it said on Pete's Tinder profile, no fatties allowed.
Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are.
Right. Trump was there.
Kimmel adds, so much greed, hypocrisy, duplicity. And the studio does that guilty laughter humans make when they recognize themselves in a funhouse mirror. Cut to the Time cover vanity section. Inhale deeply, pause for a lengthy moment, and then say the word pop. Eric's skills are turned into confetti as a room full of children learns the most grown-up lesson of all as we switch to story time. The force of storytelling is outweighed by the weight of the truth.
Made in America, and his partners claim the watches feature premium Swiss-made materials, but most of the experts seem to agree they are likely made in China. I hope he gets hit by his own tariffs. That's all I can hope for. There's so much greed and hypocrisy and duplicity. Mike Johnson, this, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, gave quite a performance today trying to pretend Democrats are the reason he shut down the House of Representatives for almost a month. Watch how hard he acts here. He gets all mad trying to pretend this has anything to do with anything other than the Epstein files.
To get everybody together and build that consensus is not possible until we get the government operating again and we stop holding. I get very upset about that. We stop holding the American people hostage for these ridiculous political games. People see what's going on here. We should not have Border Patrol agents not paid right now because Chuck Schumer wants to pay political games to cover his tail. I don't know how much more simply to say that, and every single one of you know that's exactly what's going on. I don't like being mad, Mike. I want to be happy, Mike. I want to be the happy warrior, but I am so upset about this. God bless America. We're done. Thanks.
Man, somebody didn't have his Go-Gurt this morning.
We conclude with Hanks's steady voice, and then his signature on the large letter. If we keep the lights on and the joke sincere, we'll be fine. Everything appears to be entertaining until you realize that the cycle is broken. There is laughing in place of terror. There is participation as opposed to indifference. Play it again is an alternative to what we can do. Because of this, the combination of Hank's philosophy and Kimmel's edit hits like a 1-2 punch. It makes things obvious and keeps people talking long enough for them to be interested.
There's no one working in the House of Representatives. The House has been shut down for 25 days, shut down by Speaker Mike Johnson, because there was a special election in Arizona won by a Democrat, Adelita Grijalva. Johnson is refusing to swear her in because if he does, they would be forced to vote on whether to release the Epstein files, and no one wants to be on record, and Trump, for whatever reason, does not want us to see those files. So if you're wondering why our representatives in the House are not at work, Senator Ruben Gallego of Arizona did a pretty good job of explaining it.
Speaker Johnson is protecting pedophiles. That's what this is all about. Speaker Johnson is trying to cover up for pedophiles. Is that clear enough? Speaker Johnson is covering up for pedophiles. Speaker Johnson is covering up for pedophiles. Did you guys get that? Speaker Johnson is covering up for pedophiles. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
This is where team drama really gets crazy. A shrug cannot be counterpunched. You cannot win a culture war by dragging us into it. It doesn't make sense to accuse Kimmel of elitism when he's merely playing the dialogue that was spoken. Hank's entire line is decent, including a zip-up hoodie, so calling him a snob is inappropriate. Since the jokes don't target common people, the usual counter-narrative, that they despise them, falls flat.
The blaming and the bragging, he cannot stop. His granddaughter, Kai, has some kind of a YouTube show, and he took her for a ride during a round of golf, and even there he couldn't stop tooting his own horn.
How has it been in the White House so far?
It's been great. I had a good time. We're doing a great job. We stopped 7 wars.
Yeah.
7. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Your taxes are coming down. See, everyone's happy, honey.
That's awesome.
It's awesome, Grandpa. You're awesome. Imagine that's your grandpa. Grandpa, anything you want to say about me? I know you mentioned you're awesome, but Kai had the last laugh because the video she posted him of playing golf was not subject to the usual favorable edit job.
Oh, stop.
Another hole in one, sir. Well done, well done. You know,